You think being a mom and a wife is easy? We have Danielle here to let us know it's not.
Welcome back to Everway Woman with Danielle Adisi for Real Moments with Real Moms. Danielle Adisi, you've just had a baby about a year ago.
Yep.
Yes, you had a 4th of July baby.
Yep.
What was that like?
Oh man, well actually I was afraid that when I approached the due date I would be very afraid, but it was so miserable. By the end you're just so grateful. You didn't even,
to be
it's like,
celebrating?
oh thank God, yeah. My family came out and they were all just waiting. It was a week after the due date. I was afraid they were going to have to go, and it was just, I was really glad when went into labor and stuff.
How was Holiday and staff? Because it's the 4th of July.
Yeah, she was actually born the first, and then we stayed in till the 3rd. So by the 4th of July, we were able to watch from our own home the fireworks, and that was really wonderful.
So this is your first year of motherhood.
Yeah.
What would you say is the most rewarding part about it?
Man, when she cuddles, she's a very active child. She hardly ever sits still. So when she finally calms down and takes that moment to really appreciate me, and that look in her eyes, that's just, I can't, nothing is like that in the entire world.
Was there something within this first year that you didn't expect? Like, we all get the book, moms get that book,
Yep.
What to expect when you're
expecting.
expecting. But then there are things we don't expect. So was there something that you didn't expect?
Yes. When I became, when I was pregnant, I knew there would be days where I was very overwhelmed. I knew there would be late nights, there would be hard moments. What really struck me was that it never ends. It never, ever, ever ends for even just a moment. And just, it's like a marathon. I was ready for some sprints, but it doesn't ever, slow down. So, yeah, and that was really difficult with my family not being around. They live in Wisconsin. I moved to LA about 2 years ago. So that was a big surprise.
So you're a metropolitan lady, married, yes?
Yes.
And how is it with your husband? Now, you've been married how long?
2.5 years.
2.5 years, so pretty
It was
early
earlier
on.
than we expected, yeah. But I mean, it's amazing. Yeah, he is absolutely incredible. Surviving in the city together does put some strain, especially with the baby. We've really worked hard to be supportive, but it's hard when you look at each other and you see the tiredness in the eyes. It's difficult.
Yes. Now, what would you say is the thing that you've done, that he's done for you, that has really been supportive, that maybe you didn't expect?
Wow, he's done so many things. Everything from just housework. That's something I wasn't really expecting him to do.
Are you working?
I am. I do. Yeah. When first I went back to work at 6 weeks. I work at Starbucks for the health insurance benefits, and he earns the income. But I went back at 6 weeks. I was working 35-hour work weeks. I've cut back to about 15. It's kind of slowly. I've become more honest with myself. At the beginning, I was like, I can do this.
What does that mean when you said you became more honest with yourself?
I realized that you can do only so much. You can do a million things, but you can't necessarily do them well. And
is that because you didn't feel like, sometimes you hear that, oh, the super mom.
Yeah.
I can do this, I can do that, we can do everything. Did you feel like the challenge of living up to super mom was unrealistic?
Yeah. Well, to be completely honest, the way I would get through on the days that I would qualify as super mom was a ton of coffee. And that really had a detrimental effect on nursing. And so
you nursed your babies?
I did,
Or
yeah.
your baby.
Yeah.
I nursed my babies.
Yeah, it was amazing.
And
difficult.
I thought it would be amazing. The first 3 months or so was not that
painful.
amazing. Yeah. At one point I thought, I remember holding my son and thinking, I'm supposed to love this, but it just hurts.
Yeah. I thought right after the baby was born, I'm done. The worst is, and it was incredibly painful. It kept going.
Yes.
I was surprised.
Now you seem like you're in pretty good shape. And how was that for you, coming out of getting back to the main flow of things? What about your body?
See, I'm not back to what I was, and that's difficult for me. My strategy tends to be whenever I have my life is a little bit saner, I'll do cleanses because there's less to think about I know a more consistent approach is probably longer term lasting, but
Like exercise?
oh, exercise, yeah. Exercise is, you
But
know what? We just joined the Y, and that has been absolutely incredible.
I love that you said that you joined the Y. I think it's wonderful. The Y is a place that touches me, and it's family and everything. So that's really great that you could do that.
Yeah, well, and I didn't realize the impact of 2 hours of childcare a day. That's the only moment I get to myself in a day. So that's been huge.
Yes. So it is. It's challenging being a new mom and being honest with yourself about what the approaches are. Not everything about being a new mom is a dream. But thank you, Danielle, for coming here and sharing your moments with us. And we can help bring a little of truth to childbearing, child rearing. Is there any advice you'd like to give to our audience?
Yeah, I would just say that I would encourage you to feel like you have permission to feel like you can do less and still be super mom.
Do less and still be super mom. Thank you.
After this commercial break, more